The music industry is calling my next guest book the most sizzling property to come along in years. They're all talking about this one. They say it's going to blow the lid off the rock world because it tells the truth about the power, the greed, and corruption at the highest levels of the music business.
There's a book out that proves that everything you heard is true, and there is more.
There are many ways to banner headline the next guest and topic. For starters, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Add to it the mafia, bootlegging of records, and exploitation of artists, and you have a brief sort of overview of a business that our guest knows very well from first-hand experience.
Everyone likes dirt on the rock and roll business, and my next guest knows it all.
One of the hot novels in the country right now.
And it's called, I love this title, Sweetie Baby, Cookie Honey. Sweetie Baby, Cookie Honey.
The novel is called Sweetie Baby Cookie Honey, and we're going to talk to author Freddie Gershon in just a few moments.
I like that.
You may know him best from a case involving a guy named Best.
As an attorney, my guest has represented some of the biggest names in rock and roll.
Freddie Gershon, he's called the lawyer of the stars because he has represented such people as Chicago, Peter Allen,
Bette Midler,
Van Morrison, Dr. Hook.
I think you went to school with Neil Sedaka and
Leslie Gore,
Michael Ritchie, Ron Field, Ellen Stewart, Marvin Hamlish, Cal Bass-Sagal, Eric Clapton, and we could go on and on.
He's the author of, are you ready for this? Sweetie Baby Cookie Honey. Freddie Gershon.
I have in my hand a steamy, sex-drenched expose that rips the lid off of sleazy, seedy, slimy, shallow, drug-crazed world of the music record industry.
And a book that Alan Carr told us long before it came out is scorching.
The thing that I always think about when I think of Freddie is his honesty. He's absolutely, wonderfully, marvelously honest. And in this business, that's asking a lot, really.
Well, with an introduction like that, he is one of the country's
He also
leading...
paid me, by the way.
You are really a hot person, and you've written a real sleazy novel, I must tell you.
Please welcome Freddie Gershon, Sweetie Baby, Cookie Honey.
Sweetie Baby Cookie Honey is based on Gershon's own personal diaries, and he joins us today to talk about, I guess, what is turning out to be quite a controversial novel.
It's a hot book, in other words, and Freddie Gershon, I'll bet, has upset a lot of people with it.
I certainly hope so.
Was that your intent?
No, my intent was to tell the truth. To tell the truth, it was easier to write fiction.
It's kind of a sneaky autobiography, no, Fred?
That's a very, very good way of putting it. It's a sneaky autobiography.
Right.
This is kind of an expose. What prompted you to write it, Freddie?
Well, I lived it, and I thought it was a fabulous, wonderful story.
How does an attorney who used to play classical music, who went to a very famous law school, how did you get mixed up with these rock and rollers?
I did not set out to build an empire, to make a lot of money. I set out to have a good time. When I started my law practice in the mid-60s, I had just gotten out of law school in 1964. I could not afford legitimate offices in a legitimate fashion. Get off at the Port Authority bus terminal and come directly to my office, which was a sleazeball office on 42nd Street above the Tad Steakhouse behind a XXX nudie theater. My clients loved it. And they didn't think that was awful. They thought that was funky. That was groovy, and those were the words that were used in 1965, 6, 7.
Sweetie Baby Cookie Honey. And are there really people who talk that way? Let's have lunch,
Sure.
Right?
And they say, we're going to take, oh, sweetheart, baby,
Trust
I love
me,
you.
right?
That's it, trust me. And you know when they say it, don't. He got on the phone and he wanted to get off the phone, the agent. So he kept saying, but sweetie, but baby, but cookie, but honey, but sweetie baby, but cookie honey. And in the middle of all that, just to accelerate the phone call, he pressed a button on his desk. A bell rang, which sounded like a telephone, and he said to his client, but baby, that's my private line. That's it, this is your big break. I gotta get off, I gotta get off. And he hung up the phone, and then he proceeded to talk to me as though nothing had happened, and he tried to pitch me selling my artist to him, and he had Sweetie Baby Cookie me right through the whole meeting. Sweetie Baby Cookie Honey is about sleaze. Sweetie Baby Cookie Honey is about resilience. It's about what it takes to survive. Sweetie Baby Cookie Honey means baloney, crapola, jive talk, and it's what they try to do to all the young artists in the business.
You wrote a book, and it's called Sweetie Baby Cookie Honey. And it is very, very interesting to read.
And I did Dr. Ruth, and we discussed sex and rock and roll.
No, you did
Oh, yes, we did.
Well,
and
they
she
rocked
asked
and
me
rolled.
about the groupies, and she asked me about the plaster casters.
What's a plaster casters?
Now, Arsenio, I don't want to shock your virgin ears, but to memorialize the sexual event of being with a rock star, the groupies formed a subgroup of groupies called the plaster casters. And what they did was they made plaster casts
of certain anatomical parts of the rock star?
And not only did they do that, they then traded them like baseball cards. So a girl would say, I'll give you one Rolling Stone if you give me a loving spoonful.
Loving spoonful of what? What is
You
this
have
shit?
a distorted, perverted mind. How
Well,
dare
what
you?
is it a loving spoonful of?
How some of that music influenced the sexual revolution.
You know what the groupie is. The groupie is a girl who wants to touch a rock star, literally and figuratively, by having some sort of a sexual experience with him. And if she can't get the star, she gets the lead guitar player. If she can't get the lead guitar, I see the lead guitar players, look at them. You can't get the lead guitar player, you get the bass player. If you can't get the bass player, you get the guy who sets up the speakers. You
If
see,
you can't get the speaker guy, maybe you go to bed with the lawyer.
the lawyer, you got it, you got it.
Now be totally honest. Okay. Did you ever get you some because you were a lawyer with a big group? Come on, let's talk about the dog in you.
I got a variety of phone calls. One group of people said, am I in the book? Am I in the book? And if so, how am I depicted? The next group of phone calls was, I better be in that book, or else I know you don't love me. And the third group was the group of the guilty.
Oh.
The bad guys who all said, I hope that you're not writing the truth. And
Did
I
they
said,
call collect, Freddie?
I do want to say before you answer that I think that this is one of the best written romantic plays I've ever seen.
It's a very sad story. Funny, sexy, kinky, but sad too. I'm a junkie for music. I'm a music industry junkie. I love it and I love the business. Mommy and Daddy can't tell me what to do. I'm going to go out there and do it on my own.
Thanks, Freddie. We'll have him on a radio show.
Thank
too.
you.
Freddie Gershon. The book is Sweetie Baby Cookie Honey.
Sweetie, baby, cookie, honey.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Sweetie Baby Cookie Honey. We can talk.
This is Sweetie, Baby, Cookie, and Honey.
How about the delivery? Sweetie, baby, cookie, honey.
Sweetie, baby, cookie, honey.
Do you think you could give me a better reading of that? It's sweetie, baby, cookie, honey.
Okay, let me try it again. Sweetie, baby, cookie, honey. You got it, you got it.
Sweetie, Baby, Cookie, Honey. A novel.
What great delivery.
Sweetie, baby, cookie, honey. We must do a lunch. Or is it take a meeting? I've never quite known. Thank you for joining us.
You know what? I could talk to you forever, man. You're wonderful. It's a great book. I'm going to keep this copy, okay?
Okay.
Get it. Sweetie, baby, cookie, honey. Thanks for being here.
It's a great book, and that is a great book. So
She was wonderful.
You have designs on Sweetie, Baby, Cookie, Honey. Then you take Hollywood Husbands.
People, it's a book worthwhile to read.
Thank you.
I've never said that about any book before.
Will you autograph my book? I so enjoyed reading it.
It is such a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Good luck on your
It
tour.
was
I'm
great
glad you
seeing
haven't
you
had to
again.
leave the country.
Yeah.
We wish you luck, and we'll hope to have you back for your next novel.
Beyond the valley of sweetie, baby, cookie, honey.
Exactly.